When Aliens VR was first announced, I naturally got excited. One of my 3 favorite movie franchises of all time was getting a VR experience along with another, Predator VR, which unfortunately was canned by Disney. Thank you, Disney. But finally, Aliens VR is now called Alien. Rogue Incursion is thankfully out, and it's fun, don't get me wrong. When Alien VR sticks the landing, holy hell does it stick the landing. But it also falls face first on the floor in a few other areas. Yes, I did like the overall experience, but it definitely tested my patience a few times. So, let's get into it. For starters, yes, you can play this righty or lefty. That's always an issue I have to deal with playing VR, because sometimes you don't get a choice. And as a lefty myself, it really is a special bonus when a VR game allows you to have your left hand as the primary gun hand. And also, the pulse rifle is more accurate when playing as a lefty because the ammo counter is on the correct side then. If you play as a righty, the ammo counter is on the incorrect side. Just a little fun fact right there for you. Now, one of the best aspects of this game is the art and sound design of the colony and the xenomorphs. The attention to detail in almost every room is phenomenal. This is one of the most detailed and visually impressive VR worlds I've ever walked through. And as gorgeous as Resident Evil 4 was in VR, it wasn't this detailed or interactive. The colony also feels like a small, handcrafted open world. Yes, there are hidden loading screens and airlocks and elevators, but the feel of the base is very open world-like, which is awesome. Being able to run around a colony from aliens is a fun, scary, satisfying feeling. Previously, I had mentioned that it was interactive. Believe me when I tell you that it is. Practically every single item can be picked up in this game. It didn't need to do that. Being able to pick up a stapler contributes nothing to the game. You can't throw an enemy and cause damage. It doesn't help with any aspect of the game, but it's amazing that the developers made that possibility and went through the pain and effort of making that work. I definitely do want to try the bucket method of just putting random ammo and health packs into a wire bucket that you can find around the colony. I've seen some people doing that online. It's like, okay, that seems like that might actually work because you are limited on how much inventory space you have, so it would be fun to try and do that. Now, yes, I did get hung up a few times reaching for specific items and I accidentally grabbed something else, but it's still amazing that they did this. They could have easily have just not had the environment this interactive and the game probably would have still been a huge success. So the fact that they actually put that much effort into something that wasn't as crucial is kind of impressive that the developers did this. Another fun thing is you can wear random hats you find throughout the game. Again, the developers didn't need to do this, but they did, and it's silly and fun, and I love it. Something the developers did that also surprised me that I was not expecting was you can see Zula's entire body and arms. They are very detailed and it's probably one of the best non-glitchy implementations of a VR body I've ever seen. Hell, you can even see the shadowing of her head on the wall if there's a light source behind you. I've never seen that in a VR game. So that impressed the hell out of me. You can even physically crouch and your character in-game can clear low obstacles. Or you can hit a crouch button and the character just crouches while you stand. The fact that you could actually physically crouch and clear environments, low-hanging environments in the game is impressive. There are some games you cannot do that with in VR. You have to actually press a crouch button to be able to clear an environment, which is amazing to me. Now, I did have some growing pains with item and weapon placements on my body. I did eventually get it worked out, but holy hell, I can't tell you how many times I went to pull my motion tracker and I grabbed my pulse rifle instead. This leads to probably one of my biggest issues with the game: the weapons. So you only get 3 guns in the entire game. 3. Now, it's possible that because this is part 1, they're probably saving new weapons for the potential part 2. But I still hate that some of the big ones are missing, like the flamethrower, the grenade launcher on the pulse rifle, and the spark gun. None of them show up, and it hurts. To make matters worse, of the 3 weapons, the only one that feels right is the shotgun. It takes 2 shots to take a Xeno down up close, 3 at medium range, and you're just wasting ammo beyond that. Also, it is long to reload, so the overall package feels good when it comes to the shotgun being balanced just right. The worst gun is the pistol. I shouldn't be able to take down a Xenomorph, one of the most terrifying creatures in the cosmos, this easy. 3 shots and 2 shots it sometimes took to take down a Xenomorph. The pistol is woefully overpowered and I hated using it. But I had to because there were only 3 freaking weapons in the entire game. And ammo was very limited in this game. It also doesn't help that the pistol is very aesthetically designed like the pistol from Alien Isolation. You know, the game where the pistol was 100% completely useless against one Xeno. And then there's the pulse rifle. Already, I told you that it's missing the grenade launcher, and the gun itself is woefully underpowered. It took 30 rounds to bring down one Xenomorph up close. So for any fans that want to do short controlled bursts like in the second Aliens film, you'll die. You'll absolutely die. You cannot survive with short controlled bursts. The pulse rifle is underpowered as all hell. You gotta hold down the trigger to get them to finally go down. Pistol, 3 shots. Pulse rifle, with its caseless exploding rounds, 30 shots. Something don't seem right here. Even in the story, they make it out that the pulse rifle is the only thing that can get through a certain panel and you have to go get it. So something that takes 30 shots to take down a Xenomorph, I can't do with a gun that can take a Xenomorph down in 3 shots. What? Another thing that was weird, and I guess I kind of get it, was you can't dual wield in this game. I tried pulling my pistol with my free hand after going dry with my weapon, and the offhand you choose only grabs the barrel. Your offhand cannot grab the handle of any weapon. So, like, if you're right hand and you can't grab the next weapon with your right hand for some reason, you're gonna die. Now, you have very limited ammo in this game, like Resident Evil, for example. But the alien spying system is on a timer. Or at least it was until the most recent update. I'll give you a general rundown of how the game was before the update, because that's the state I played the entire game in. So how it was prior to the most recent update was like every 2 minutes you get a new wave of aliens coming for you. Usually it's 3, sometimes it's 2, but it's usually 3, which on the surface wouldn't be an issue, but objectives can sometimes be very vague and not precise. So there will be times you're wandering around aimlessly trying to find a battery in a room, for example, and while doing this you have wave after wave coming for you. Do you see the problem building? I never died because I did something stupid or the aliens outsmarted me. I died trying to figure out how to accomplish my next objective, and I ran out of ammo because aliens never stopped respawning and the objective wasn't clear. The AI also needed a lot of work, especially with your AI buddy. He likes to take his sweet ass time shooting Xenos, attacking both of you. Xenomorphs themselves were kind of stupid during my experience. I'm tempted to try a higher difficulty than normal, but I'm concerned that they're just going to make them tougher and that's it. The game definitely needed a lot of balancing done, with it being overpowered and underpowered weapons, wonky AI, and spawning ammo placement. And with this most recent update, it appears they at least addressed the Xeno problem. Now, in all fairness, I only played around 40 minutes of the game with the new update, so I can't say 100% that everything's perfect. But from what I saw, Xenomorphs don't just spawn every 2 minutes and hit you in waves anymore. They will spawn, but the game feels a lot slower in a good way. The developer said that the Xenos will not automatically know where you are, they will have better AI, and they'll also be more patient and not just attack you, but stalk you until they see an opening. The AI still seemed a bit dumb during my 40-minute replay, but impressively, they did not just hit me wave after wave anymore. I saw one see me and then duck behind a roof, which I thought was actually kind of cool. It made them seem smarter. And then I heard one crawling around above me and even registered them on my motion tracker, but never got attacked by it. Definitely more testing needs to be done, but it appears that the developers have improved the Xenomorph spawn rate and swarm rate. I just wish I got to play the entire campaign with this update. Seriously, I finished the campaign like 1 day before this update was released. It sucks. That all being said, one thing I did like was the snap lock feature when aiming down the sights of a gun. I heard a lot of people complain about this, but I absolutely love this. When you aim down the sights of a gun, it locks to your face and it stabilizes the front of the gun, so it doesn't feel like you have two hands free anymore. It feels like you're just holding one weapon. I would love to see this more on VR games. This is the first one I've seen it implemented on, and I absolutely loved it. And that's when the game clicks, when you're moving along and an alien drops from the ceiling and you unload your pulse rifle. That's when this game gets fun. That's when this game shines. Now, allow me to go off on a tangent for a moment. When it was first announced that the main character was going to be fan favorite Zula Hendricks, there was a lot of discord online. I think it's safe to say I'm a huge fan of Alien. I have all the movies except Romulus. I'm trying to get the Steelbook, that's why I don't have it yet. I've seen all the movies multiple times. I have plenty of Alien shirts. I've read some of the books. I've collected Alien comics. I'm still collecting Alien comics. My wall behind me is littered with Alien toys. And I got not one, not two, but 3 Alien Romulus popcorn buckets. So I think it's safe to say I'm a fan of this franchise. So when they announced that the main character was fan favorite Zula Hendricks and that she was a fan favorite, I simply said, who? Like, seriously, the devs, the developers, constantly, to an annoying, obnoxious degree, always said fan favorite before her name in every interview and article. It was obnoxious. You could say fan favorite all you want, but most Alien fans are still not going to know who this lady is. It reminds me of when I went to Disneyland for the first time. And I went to Galaxy's Edge, the Star Wars theme park. Everyone was swarming the actual iconic characters, walking around, and, you know, it was like a sea of people around Chewbacca and R2-D2 and even Rey. But there was a new character that was made just for the park, an original character that no one was going up to or approaching. And I got a photo with her. She was super nice to me, and when she walked off, I was like, who the hell was that? This is how Zula felt to me. She felt like a third-tier character that the developers were deceptively trying to say everyone knows her. Now, they do mention a connection between Zula Hendricks and Amanda Ripley from Alien Isolation, but I have yet to finish that game, so maybe she does show up later on, but I don't know as of the point I'm making of this video. And the other issue with Zula is they never catch you up to speed with her. They expect you to have read her book and comic before going into this. At the very least, they could have given you a codex in the personal computer that you have that gives you a brief synopsis on who this is and what she has done and the characters that they mention. But no, you're just dropped into the deep end and you better catch up. This I do hold against the developers. If you're going to push this character on us, at least give us something involving her backstory that people who haven't read the book or don't have time to read a book can go like, oh, okay, so that's who Zula Hendricks is. Fine, okay, I'm caught up to speed. But they don't do this. They just expect you to know what happened in the book and the comic that she was in. Now, luckily the story is super simplistic. You land on Colony, it's overwhelmed with aliens, and you gotta try and stop them. So if you can ignore the moments when Zula and her android are talking about other offensive characters, then you shouldn't be too lost. And just real quick, the voice acting can get super cringy and bad at times. Just listen to this gem.
This is gonna be hell on my spine.
I should go when you're steady.
No. The best way you can help my back is by watching it.
This leads to probably my biggest but personal criticism of Zula Hendricks. She acts overly tough when it comes to the most terrifying creature in the universe, the Xenomorph. One of the things I love about Alien comics, or just the Alien in general, is you could be a 6 foot tall, 300-pound muscular soldier, or you could be a 90-pound teenage geeky girl. Unless you use your brain and work together, neither one is going to survive, and both have an equal chance of survival. Zula, on the other hand, she's going to take them all out single-handedly because she's just that badass. Ellen Ripley's Zula is not. Ellen Ripley was terrified every single time she went up against a Xenomorph, and I think it's safe to say that Ellen Ripley is one of the greatest female characters in fictional history, if not the greatest. It's one of the biggest issues with the recent Predator comics. You have this 110-pound female character that kills dozens upon dozens of predators, sometimes hand to hand, because she's just that amazing. And honestly, I'm losing interest in the Predator because everyone can kill a predator now like it's nothing. That's one of the things I like about Amanda Ripley's character from Alien Isolation, which I'm still playing through. She has a healthy respect of fear around this monstrosity. The same with the Colonial Marines in the second Alien film. Zula, well, she eats Xenos for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And doing so with this character, it cheapens the perfect organism aspect to how horrifying the Xenomorph is. Look at it this way. The best moments with Zula in this game were two key parts of the game that I won't spoil for you, where she was in trouble and in a vulnerable state. Those moments really grabbed me and were some tense, excellent moments. Those were the moments where I actually liked and cared about Zula. The one where she's acting tough, talking about xenomorphs and how they're beneath her, really disconnected me as a fan. Now let's talk about this being part 1. The cliffhanger was actually kind of interesting to me, don't get me wrong, but VR does not have an excellent track record in terms of doing parts. I can't think of any VR game that released a part 1 and then a part 2. It might be out there, but the history of VR does not bode well on this topic. The studio has confirmed they're working on a second part, but a lot of devs say they're working on additional parts, and we're still waiting for those. I'm pretty sure Valve said they're working on a third episode to Half-Life 2. It's been almost 20 years since that happened, and that's Valve. I would love to get a part 2, don't get me wrong, but I'm very dubious. Alien Rogue Incursion can be insanely fun at times, but some serious problems stopped this from being a masterpiece. Yes, I had fun with this, but I also had some serious problems with that I'm hoping they fix with a second one, if they ever do make it. Hell, at this point, some DLC weapons, a codex in the PDA, and improvements to the AI would go a long way to giving this game some legs. But for right now, it's a good game that should have been better. Anyway, what did you guys think of Alien Rogue Incursion? Sing off in the comments down below. Please help out the channel by liking, the subscribing, and the galabeling. And my name's Chris Recall, 11 Hour Reviews, and that will be all for today.